Hello students, I hope you all are doing fine. And today we will be studying about the one of the most important physical divisions of India, that is the Northern Mountains. So the Northern Mountains comprise of three different mountain ranges, that is the Himalayan range, which is the highest mountain range in the world, then the Karakoram range and the Purvanchal ranges. So the northern mountains in India begin from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. They are the highest mountain ranges in the world and they cover a distance of 2400 kilometers from Jammu and Kashmir till Arunachal Pradesh. Now, in the last session, I had already shown you all how tectonic plates help in developing different kinds of physical features, right? So the mountains are also formed by tectonic forces. So just repeat with me that in India, the northern mountains start from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. They cover a distance of 2400 kilometers. They are formed by tectonic forces and they are the highest mountain ranges in the world. These are the highest three peaks in the northern mountains. First being the Mount Everest, then you have K2, also known as Mount Godwin Austen, and then the third one is Kanchenjunga. Okay, so this is Mount Everest. It is the highest peak, highest mountain peak on earth. It was first discovered by Sir George Everest, on whose name this mountain was named after, that is Mount Everest. The mountain is so high that it takes for a professional mountaineer to it takes 3 months for a professional mountaineer to climb this mountain. The climatic conditions on Mount Everest are very extreme and it is covered with snow throughout the year. To help you understand how big or how tall Mount Everest is, this is a comparison between Mount Everest and one of the tallest building, actually the only tallest building made by man on earth, that is the Burj Khalifa. It is the tallest skyscraper in the present date. You can see here, this is Burj Khalifa and you can see how tall the building is. It almost goes through the clouds and is way above the clouds too. You can see the clouds are over here. So it's the tallest skyscraper till date. And you can see, as compared to other buildings and other skyscrapers over here, how tall it actually is. And here is Burj Khalifa in front of the mighty Mount Everest. It will take almost three more Burj Khalifa, one on top of the other, to reach the height of Mount Everest. Now we come to the second highest peak in the world, which is also a part of the northern mountains, that is K2 or Mount Godwin Austen. This is the second highest peak and is also known as the King of Mountains. Now, why is it known as the King of Mountains? Now, even though Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world, it is very easy as compared to K2. It is very easy to climb Mount Everest, and till date, approximately 4,000 people have already climbed and have reached the peak of Mount Everest, whereas K2, in that context, only 306 people have actually reached the peak of the mountain. So it is a very dangerous mountain. It is not easy to climb the mountain. That is why it is known as the king of mountains. So here is a list of the prominent features of the northern mountains. They have the highest peaks in the world. They have deep valleys, they have gorges and glaciers. Now what are deep valleys, gorges and glaciers? I will show you as we go through this slideshow. So we just read that the northern mountains include the Himalayan range, the Karakoram range and the Purvanchal hill ranges. Uh, so just remember the spelling of Purvanchal is this. In the book it is wrong. It is given Purvachal. Purvachal is the wrong spelling. Correct spelling is Purvanchal. The N is missing in the book. So if you have the book, please make the correction. So now we will study about each of them separately. So the first being the Himalayan range. So the Himalayan range is the highest mountain range in the world. And it has been divided into three parts. And as we move from south to north, okay, from south to north, here are the three parts. Okay, so these three lines that you see, this 1, 2 and 3, which I have covered with this blue lines, this shows the Himalayan range. Clear? On top are different ranges. So this is the Himalayan range. Okay, so in the Himalayan range, from south to north, when you move from south to north, okay, so the first one that you see is the outer Himalayas, also known as the Shivalik. Okay, on top of outer Himalayas or Shivalik, you have the middle Himalayas. This middle line shows the middle Himalayas, okay, and it is also known as Himachal. All right, and then on top, these are the highest mountain. This is the highest mountain range, and they are known as the Greater Himalayas or the Himadri. Clear? So as we move from south to north, you have the Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. Okay, then you have the middle Himalayas, which are also known as Himachal, middle Himalayas. Okay, and the tallest or the highest among the three, that is the Greater Himalayas, also known as the Himadri. Okay. Okay, so in the Himalayan range, okay, these three lines show indicate the Himalayan range. So in the Himalayan range, the northmost is the Himadri or the Greater Himalayas. Their peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. That is why they also form glaciers. Several rivers such as Indus, Ganges, in English we call Ganga as Ganges. Okay, so Ganges and Yamuna originate from these glaciers. So, and also it is so cold in this region that you hardly find any life form over here. So this is what a glacier looks like. Snow from the mountains come falling down the slopes, okay, and they collect one on top of each other, and then once they are piled up and they cannot hold each other, they fall onto the streams, and with the streams uh, the snow and the ice will move down the valley. Okay, so they act the rivers actually feed on the snow. Clear? As the rivers or the streams will move down the valley, the snow or ice will start melting, and thus making these rivers, that is Indus, Ganges and Yamuna, and even Brahmaputra in the east, perennial rivers. That is, they never dry up. They always have water. They are always running with water. Clear? They are perennial rivers. Even though it's not very clear over here, you can roughly make out the white part. This is a river, and the white part you can see here and there are actually blocks of snow or glaciers. Okay, So to explain it to you in much better way, I have opened Google Earth. Even you can use Google Earth at home and see how different structures look like. Okay, with the help of different satellites. All right. So right now I have put glaciers in the northern mountains in the search option given over here, and I have got all the glaciers here. You can see Gangotri, okay, then Namik Glacier. All of these are names of different glaciers in the northern mountains. Clear? Also, if you observe the color scheme in this range, okay, so you will be able to make out that this dark green part, okay, which is quite prominent over here, okay, this dark green colored part that is quite prominent represents the Shivalik. Okay, above that is the middle Himalayas, all right, also known as Himachal, and then you have the greater Himalayas, which are always covered in snow. Okay, so and they are called Himadri, all right. Okay, so now that I have all the glaciers over here, I am going to take you to this glacier over here, that is the Zemu Glacier. And I am going to visit it. Okay, so I have zoomed in this part and you can see this is mountain Kanchenjunga over here, and the snow from this mountain slopes down and collects in this region over here, forming the Zemu Glacier. Okay, and from the Zemu Glacier you can see that the snow will go and join this path over here. Okay, so I think you can see it more clearly like this. So from the Zemu Glacier, the snow will join this part of the stream, and let us just follow the stream and see. Okay, so I want you to see where the arrow is going. Okay, so here you can see that there are two mountains, okay, and wherever their slopes are going to join each other, that part is known as a valley. Okay, so now you can see that the stream is flowing down over here. So when there is a stream flowing down a valley, it is known as a gorge. Okay, so now let's see where this stream will take us. Okay, can you see now it has been joined by another stream or river, and now it's going to flow down this part. Again another branch has come and joined it. Okay, can you see now it has joined this and has formed a river. So when you zoom in you can see here that it has come down to form the Lachin River over here. So even you can open Google Earth and you can explore different places with the help of Google Earth. It's very good, especially to study geographical structures and about monuments and other things. So like this, if ever you get confused, you can just follow the path like this and you can find how the glacier turns into a river. Okay. Alright, so these are the rivers and their route. that originate from the northern mountains. So we have the Indus, then we have the Ganges. Now this part, this line that you see over here is representing Yamuna, okay, and where Yamuna and Ganges come and meet, this part is known as Sangam, all right. And then we have Brahmaputra in the east, all right. So these are the rivers that originate, perennial rivers that originate from the northern mountains. They are called perennial because they never dry up. Now we come to the middle part of the Himalayan range. This I told you, 1, 2, 3. These three lines are indicating the Himalayan range, okay, and the second line is indicating the middle Himalayas or the Himachal. Okay, so now this area is not as cold as the greater Himalayas, okay, but still there are some of the peaks in this mountain range that are covered with snow. Most of the valleys and hill stations are located in this area. You'll find Kashmir, Shimla, Manali, Kulu, all these hill stations are located in the middle Himalayas. Okay, so they are not as high as the greater Himalayas. Some peaks are covered with snow. Not all peaks are covered with snow, only some peaks are covered with snow. They have evergreen forests, okay, and then the soil over here is very fertile for vegetation. Now why is the soil very fertile? I just told you that this whole area has four rivers that originate from the northern mountains, the Indus. Yeah, so you can see here we have the Indus, we have Yamuna, we have the second one is Ganga, and then we have Brahmaputra. So all these four rivers, they originate from the northern mountains. Okay, you can see Yamuna over here. See, this is Yamuna, here Yamuna. Okay, so all of, and this is Satluj. However, Satluj is not very great importance to us, but still the other main rivers are Indus, Yamuna, Ganga and Brahmaputra. All right. So when these rivers flow down towards the valley, they bring a lot of silt with them, and silt is very good for soil. Okay, it makes the soil rich and healthy, which is good for crops and vegetation. So that is why the land in this area is very fertile. Now we come to the last one and the closest one to us, that is the Shivalik. Okay, so Shivalik is has very thick forests. All right, this last line that you see over here is Shivalik. They are the youngest mountains in the Himalayan range. Okay, so they have thick forest. They are comparatively smaller in size as compared to the middle and the greater Himalayas. Okay, and in this region you will have lot of valleys are called dunes, so that is why you have Dehradun, Patli Dune, all of these dunes are over here. Okay, and this is the most fertile area. Why? Because the rivers bring lot of silt with them and they deposit them over here in these areas. That is why these two areas are very fertile, okay, and are good for growing crops. So that is all about the Himalayan range. Now we come to the Karakoram range. Okay, so the Karakoram range, okay, are a part of the Trans Himalayas, also known as the Tibetan Mountains. The part of Trans Himalayas that are present in India, that come under the land of India, are called Karakoram range. Okay, so they are situated in the northwest part. Okay, you can see over here north and west part of the Himalayas or the northern mountains. And the second highest peak, that is K2 or Mount Godwin Austen, lies in this range. Okay, and Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh lie in the Karakoram range. Clear? So here, wherever Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh is, that part is known as the Karakoram range. Clear? Okay, so over here you can see it better. They lie beyond the Indus. Okay, so ahead of the Indus. So Indus River is here. So this part, this black or dark part that you can see above the blue line that is representing the river Indus, this part is the Karakoram range. Clear? And you can see, you know that your Jammu and Kashmir are here and this part belongs to Ladakh. Now we come to the last hill ranges of the northern mountains, that is the Purvanchal hill ranges. Again, I am repeating the spelling of Purvanchal is this. In the book it is wrong, please correct it. And this is known as hill ranges because in this range there are no mountains, there are hills. Okay, so that is why it is known as the Purvanchal hill ranges, and it is in the east of India. So you can see over here we have north, south, east and west. So these red lines over here are representing the Purvanchal ranges. There are more hills than mountains over here. That is why it is known as hill ranges. Okay, so the northeastern part of the northern mountains. This is the northeastern part of the northern mountains. Northern mountains, north, south, east, west. So north, eastern, it is in the north and eastern part, so that is why it is the northeastern part of the northern mountains. They have thick forests. If you pay close attention over here to the color scheming, you can see that you can see dark green color under these red lines. The dark green colors represent thick forest. Okay, and also you know that the northeastern part consists of the seven sister states. Yes, and the mountains are covering almost all the seven sisters, so that is why they are the seven sisters are situated in this region. Okay, then the Brahmaputra river originates here. So this is the Brahmaputra river, and you know that the mountain Purvanchal hill ranges are over here in this area, and you can see that Brahmaputra is originating from here. All right. So again, if you pay a little close attention, you can see different colors of green over here representing the different parts of the Himalayan ranges and the northern mountains. All right, now children, these mountains have routes which or pathways or roads which have made travel across them very easy. These are called mountain pass. All right, when a route is built by cutting the mountains, okay, for to make it easier to travel, these routes are called as mountain pass. And you can also see that they are very, very dangerous as well. Now we come to the significance of the Himalayas. So basically there are two major significance of Himalayas, and then we have branches of these two significance. So first is that the Himalayas provide with a very favorable climatic condition to India, and then it also prevent invasions. So while we were studying about the neighboring countries and the borders India shares with it, we studied about the border with China, and I had told you how the Himalayas actually protect us from and actually act as a natural barrier from Chinese invasions. Okay, so they help in preventing invasions. Now let's know a little more about how they make or provide favorable climatic conditions to us. Now, before I teach you about how they provide us, how the mountains provide us with favorable climatic conditions, a little bit of science lesson over here. I'm sure in class 3 you must have studied the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid, and gas. When you heat something, the matter spreads and it turns into gas. Yes, and when you cool something, all the particles come close to each other and form solids, right? And this scientific phenomena, you can say, helps the northern mountains in providing India with suitable climatic condition. Let's see how. So this is a mountain, you have your ocean over here. Okay, so now water will evaporate and form water vapor. The winds from the ocean or near the ocean will bring the water vapor towards the land. Okay, now winds will come and it will force the water vapors to go up. All right, when they go up, you know that in the Himalayas, the this region, the region near the peaks are very cold. Yes, so when I told you, when something is cooled down, they come close together and they form clouds, and when the pressure increases, they come out in the form of rainfall or snowfall. So in this region, you will always, of the mountains, you will have rainfall and snowfall. And our Himalayas are so tall that they actually prevent these monsoon clouds to go beyond them. They stop them right over here. So usually in this area you will find a lot of precipitation, that is heavy rainfall. That is why in the that is why the middle Himalayas and the lower Himalayas are very fertile and good for vegetation. Also, similarly, the Himalayas stop the cold winds which are coming from the North Asia towards India. They stop it. So that is why we have moderate climatic conditions, and which is very favorable for plants and animals. So now you know why vegetation in this area is so rich, right? So let us know something more about the vegetation in the northern mountains. So the northern mountains have many orchards, okay, orchards of grapes, plums, apples, pears, okay, and then you can also grow almonds and walnuts over here. Now, apart from growing fruits and dry fruits, we also have uh, large farms to grow crops. Okay, so what has been done is, this is the Terai region. Okay, just below Nepal, a little bit in Uttarakhand also. Okay, just below Nepal is the Terai region. Now, the mountains in this region, okay, have been cleared. I told you that the Shivaliks, this region comes under the Shivalik region. So the Shivaliks have thick forest. So the forest in this region has been cleared, and they have started farming over here. So obviously they have cut the mountains into step. Okay, so you can see over here, plain area, step, again plain area, step. So this kind of farming on the slopes is known as terrace farming or step farming. Okay, and through terrace farming or step farming, you are able to grow rice, wheat, sugarcane, etc. It is also used to get timber. Okay, it provides, the northern mountains provide us with lot of herbs. This is Himalayan salt, very good for joint pain and etc. And here you have tea leaves. Okay, timber is fresh wood. Okay, and it is used while construction of buildings and houses. All right, so many medicinal plants, tea leaves, timber is provided, it is a source, the northern mountain are a source for all of these things. So now children, an area which is very rich in vegetation, which has lot of forests, evergreen forest, thick forest, will also be rich in wildlife. All right. So you have lot of national parks in these areas, and you will have a variety of animals over here, such as the rhinoceros, the mountain leopard, we have the musk deer, okay, and these are yaks. So here are a few points why stating the importance of the northern mountains. They act as natural barrier protecting our borders. They prevent cold winds from entering our country and also prevent movement of the monsoon winds further ahead. Okay, then rivers carry a lot of sediment which are deposited at the foothills, thus making the soil very rich for agriculture. Its perennial rivers are a source of hydroelectricity. Electricity produced with the help of water is known as hydroelectricity, and I told you that these rivers are perennial rivers, they never dry up, so that is why it is a very good source of electricity. Then it also provides us with timber, medicinal herbs, and plants. So that is all for today, children. I hope you have understood the lesson, and in case of any doubts, please don't hesitate and clear your doubts.